Sean here from Zero to Income, and today let's talk Brilliant Directories theme colors. All right, so you picked a theme for your Brilliant Directories website, and you go into it, and there's just colors everywhere, and you've got your brand color set, right? And you want to make that theme more your own, okay? And so, going to go in, and we're going to dive into a theme that we've got activated already. And we're going to change some colors, and we're going to clean things up so there's not tons of colors all over the place. And I'm going to show you what I mean here. So if you're wanting to clean up your Brilliant Directories theme that you're using and make it more your own with your colors and kind of maybe reduce the number of colors that are being used so it's not like crazy wild, that's what we're going to do today in this video. So let's jump in and let's go check it out. All right. So going over here and getting a clue here of what I'm doing, right? So we are looking at our dashboard for Canadian Vacations, one of the websites that Dana and I use over here at Zero to Income on our Brilliant Directories. And we're in the dashboard, and what we want to do is clean up, again, the theme colors. And here's what I mean. This is one of the default themes right here, all right? So if we look at this, it's not terrible looking at all. It's actually pretty sharp looking. It's rich. I like this dark blue. As a matter of fact, the blue that I picked, I didn't even know it. The blue that I picked for one of my brand colors for Canadian Vacations is almost exactly like this blue. And you'll see that here in a minute. But look at this. This is one of the default themes. We've got a red button here. We got kind of a blue button here. And we got a red button here again. And this is more of a search now button versus I can see having different colors for buttons that have different functions. But here you have a member if you want to become a member, and then here you have a search and they're the same color. And that doesn't make sense to me. And so for me, if you are going to have multiple colors for buttons, that would be kind of the decision you want to make, or the kind of deciding factor of what color that button should be is like, what is it going to do? And so for every time that a person is going to click on a button to add a listing, it should just be one color. And for every visitor who's going and clicking on a button to do a search, that should also be one color. You shouldn't have multiple colors. That's just my opinion. All right. So if you want to have multiple colors, that's fine. But for those of you that are a little bit more OCD like me, this is kind of, you'll see what I'm talking about here. So we have red, we have this kind of dark blue, we got a red here, and then we go down here, we got kind of this green here, which is a cool green. And then we scroll down, and now we have kind of a slate blue here, and then we have another kind of, bright blue. There's another bright blue here. Again, this get listed today is another member. So for me, I would have them all either all red because it's the same function, or all blue. Again, make it consistent. Again, get listed today. Again, I would make it all the same color. And then you scroll down here, and then you got this bright red. Again, members get listed. And then you have kind of a green here. And again, it's not terrible. It definitely is not terrible. If you ran with this and had a site, there'd be nothing wrong with that. But if you're a little bit more OCD, let's get in here and clean that up, and I'll show you how. Here is Canadian Vacations, and you can tell that I started doing it and then I stopped. I'm like, hey, let's make this alive. All right. And so what I've got here is this green in the leaf is the green I'm using for buttons. Okay. Again, I'm making all my buttons pretty much the same color. Here is where I stopped. You can see now that in this particular theme, we got all kinds of different colors going in here. And in the last video I did, I showed you all how to change this from the default as well. If you go over here, a default member icon is kind of grayish. And I'm like, hey, let me use my brand colors. So this green person here is the same green as the leaf up there in my logo. Okay. So again, we got a red button here. I got a blue button here, blue, green, another red, and then green here. So how do we change these buttons? A couple of different places. This is cool. This is something I just found just while I was messing around the other day, and I really, really like it. And I'll show you that here in a minute. So let's go ahead and pop into our dashboard. Two different places. All right. So we can go down here into settings, and then we can go into, I think it's design settings. And again, for whatever reason, whenever I click on it, it doesn't seem, the one time it doesn't seem to go really well. I have to do it again. So, and then in here, you go into, yep, general, and then button colors. Okay. Right over here on the right is website design. You got button colors. All right. So what we've got here is, that's the other thing I did is, we got these circle corners. All right. And, that's with it's interesting. It's showing this default theme here that is kind of showing right here. It's interesting because, in most of the default themes, they're just rounded buttons. And so it looks like it's remembering that I just wanted rounded corners. I prefer the rounded corners versus a rounded button. And here's how to change that. Rounded corners or circle corners. Okay, so let's go into rounded corners and let's go down here to save changes. Okay. Click on OK. We're going to go back over here and we're going to do a refresh. All right. That happened quick. So notice here. Okay. I already had what I want, or I did not have it on. This is what I want right there. So for me, I want these rounded corners. I don't want circle corners. Okay. And so it would be cool if they actually showed you what it would look like down here, but that's okay. So let's go back over to circle corners, do save changes. In my default theme, before I started messing with it, it had, and I must have changed it back, the rounded buttons. Okay. Again, not a terrible thing. This is just kind of a style preference. Let's go on back to our dashboard. And again, going to go back up to rounded corners. I want to go ahead and just click on save changes. We're not going to go back and refresh it because now what we're going to do is we go into here and notice all of these button colors. Primary button background, primary button text, and I think these button texts are all good for me. Having all white is good. But look at all these different colors for all the different buttons. So what we want to do is we want to grab that color. So you either have your color hex codes or RGB codes saved in a master document somewhere, or if you don't feel like pulling that up, again, I use this ColorZilla Chrome extension. I'm using Chrome. I click on that. I'm pretty sure it's got an extension for Firefox if you're using Firefox. Okay, so we're going to click on the green in my leaf for the Canadian Vacations logo. There, if I'm just hovering over it right now, you can see the hex code there is 3D, 6B, 3E. And then they got the RGB code as well. So I'm just going to click on that. Now here's what's kind of cool. If you go back over here and we click on this, notice it's RGB. Watch this. I pasted it in. And I just knew, normally I'm thinking it's copying the hex code. Whenever there's a hex code field and I do that copy and click on it and pop and do a paste, it pastes in the hex code, but it's pasting in the RGB code, which is really, really cool with that ColorZilla thing. It's little things make me happy, right? All right, so we're going to click on choose. And again, it's also really hard to figure out which buttons this is affecting, right? And so for me, I just had to save changes, doing okay, go back, and then do a refresh and just see, hey, which buttons were affected here. And you can tell here that these weren't affected. Now, one way of looking or dealing with this is to go and look at this green color and then go back to your dashboard and then go back up to the buttons. And it looks like this is a success button background. And that's what they're using right here. Or was that right? Oh, I'm in the default. Let's go and get that over here and go back to our main and right here. So this is a success button that they're using. Okay. let's kind of pump the brakes a little bit, slow down, because I want to show you something else. I was telling you there's two different ways of dealing with this. If you're coming from a world of using System.io, which Dan and I use a lot for most of our, just traditional websites, marketing platform, using, creating your landing pages, we use System.io. I've also done work for clients who are using, it's gone now, but ClickSlow, which is a version of Go High Level. All right. So if you're using any kind of a spin-off or white label version of Go High Level, and you've used that, the editors in those are more of what they call what you see is what you get editor, WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. And when you go into these general settings, these design settings, that's not what you're looking at here for your website on the Brilliant Directories. Check this out right here, Live Design Tool. So if you're really comfortable with the interfaces of like System.io or Go High Level, and you want that similar type of interface, Live Design Tool right here. Boom. Check this out. Really, really like this. See, and it's almost looking more also like WordPress too. This is kind of if you're coming from a WordPress world, this is going to be very, very similar to what that's set up as. All right. So main website design, we're going to use the drop down, and look at this. Body link color, breadcrumbs, logo design. They got a logo design tool. If you weren't popping in your own logo, which I already popped in my own logo, so that's not going to come into play here. And then header design. Look at this background color. There's the background color of my header. Sign up link. Okay, there's my sign up link. Not going to really do much here because I'm pretty much happy with all this. Again, let me go. I'm going to open up my OneNote that I have all my stuff in. And then I'm going to go to my color palette. And yeah, I'm using a Persian blue. And for whatever reason, make font and color. Let's change that. Paste and choose. Okay, you can tell it's almost exact. So there's the header design. All right, and then you just go into footer design, and same thing, background color. So we're looking at the footer background color again. Let's change that to my blue. Keeps wanting to get out. Okay, font link and color, that's all good. Heading color, sign up link. Nah, I don't want that sign up link to be bright red. Again, this is a sign up link up here. It's green. And all sign up links, if you're going to have a differentiation between sign up and or a search, that's fine. But you want all of those buttons that do the same thing to be the same color. All right. In my case, I'm making these buttons all green. That's just me. So we're going to go back and use my color. Actually, I'm not going to use the color picker. I'm just going to go right here. I've got my document open with all my greens. Okay. And then we'll go up here to sign up link. Click on that. Let's see if, there we go, Control V, choose. That's fine. Newsletter background color. Don't think we need to mess with that. Look at that, it's already changed. And then newsletter button background. Yeah, I'm going to go in here, all my buttons, choose. Button border, that's fine. Main menu design, pop in that, open that up. Main menu background, that's fine. Actually, no, it's not fine. Again, that's anything that has that blue. Again, I could just leave it because it's so darn close. Copy my hex code over here and go over here. Paste that in, choose. Same thing here. Paste that in, choose. Okay, and then additional design. Homepage divider icon. I think I'm going to be fine with that for now. Okay, we're going to click on Save Changes. So notice here, as we're saving the changes, notice that we're still seeing some red buttons here, and we still see some green off green buttons here, which is kind of like, what's going on here? Let's go back here to the main website design. I'm not seeing anything here for that weird green button. Nothing here. I'm not seeing anything in here for it. But notice we've got this really kind of interesting kind of off green here. Scroll down again. We got a red here. And we got another green here. So evidently going in here, save changes just because, doesn't give you all the buttons. Interesting. It's giving you some stuff that you need, not other stuff. I'm kind of surprised. That's okay. So we'll go back over here to our dashboard. We're going to go into the button colors. We're going to go to this green button here. It's kind of the off green, if you will. And we're going to paste in, my hunter green. That's my Persian blue. Copy that. And again, folks, I'm actually copying the hex code. And when I paste it in, it converts it to RGB. I think that's so cool. All right, choose. Same thing here. This warning button background, I can leave that the way it is. But again, if we look over here, the red is still showing up. Okay, so go back over here. Keep going in that. I'm going to X out of that. Go into this danger button background and choose. Okay. I wasn't seeing this, what's the word I'm looking for? Orange come up that often. And favorite icon active color. I'm going to go ahead and change that to. And paste. Choose. Okay, now we're going to scroll all the way down and we're going to click Save Changes. All right, go back and refresh this bad boy. And let's scroll all the way to the top. Okay, so we've got our green buttons. Green search now. There we got, that was changed. All right. These were all changed. Look at that. Those are all consistent now. Now, again, member get listed today. That was not changed. Very interesting that it's all being so persnickety. Additional design. Let's go into the footer design. Sign up link. Evidently, my sign up link didn't get changed. Even after going through all these buttons and changing everything and saving it, it didn't change the sign up button. How quirky is that? So you definitely need to be aware of this live, what's the word I'm looking for? Live design, and being aware of where those other buttons are, because of the fact that you make a change and it's not giving you what you need everywhere. Different places for different buttons. Choose. And see, it's already changed. It was like instantaneously. So we're going to click on Save Changes, and for the most part, I'm happy with this. Again, the only other thing that's maybe a question or toss-up is, do you want two different buttons colors for if you're going to get listed versus you're a customer looking for a service or looking for a listing, and that search function. You might want two different button colors for that. And I could do maybe a blue button. Just have to be careful because sometimes some of these sections will have a blue background. And so like right here, if this was a create a member listing here, you wouldn't see the button because it's got a blue background. So you've got to be careful with your design elements that way. But for the most part, folks, we're good. All right, we've gone through, we've gone into the dashboard, we've gone into our design settings, and looked at the button options there. We've done the live, what they call the live. Why am I drawing a blank here? Design tool, which again, if you're familiar with WordPress, System.io, Go High Level, it's going to be very, very similar to all that. And then created your kind of changes using that live design. So That's how you kind of make this theme more your own and add your brand colors. I mean, how cool is that, right? So, again, Dan and I, we are Brilliant Directories affiliates. We'll have the affiliate code down below. If you use the coupon code 0 to income, that's going to give you 30% off. Okay. Again, broken record here. I'm going to probably say this in every single video that we do, and that is don't purchase right away. Just get on their email list, wait for their marketing department to reach out to you and let you know when they're having specials. They have them often, and it's a significant discount off their regular prices when you wait for their specials. All right. If you're just biting at the bit to get going and you're like, hey, I got money to burn, I'm okay. Let's just get running. Great, go for it. But if you're on a shoestring budget and you're doing some bootstrapping and you want to keep your costs down, get on their email list, wait for them to reach out to you, and let you know when those specials are, and then jump in. All right. So that's it for now, everyone. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.